What is going on, Rope Breakers? Welcome to another episode of React After Raw. I'm your host, Alec, and we are here live on Rope Break Wrestling's YouTube channel. And joining me today on the show is Mitchell Jones. Mitch, what's going on, man?
Man, I'm still recovering from getting ran over by that jet earlier on Grand Theft Auto Live, but I'm good. Happy to be here on React After Raw. What's going on, man?
It's going great. Pretty good episode of Raw we had tonight. Very solid show. WWE did a good job putting it together. Makes you wonder if they're trying to fix things after that pretty good showing at the most recent NXT pay-per-view. There were rumors recently that many of the main roster talents are frustrated, extremely frustrated at not the performers in NXT, but what the performers get to do in NXT, the matches they get to have, the storylines, the character development, especially the women. They are extremely frustrated that, the women in NXT are having 20-minute matches that are being labeled as co-main events, while the women on the main roster get 3-minute matches that build up to 3-minute matches on a pay-per-view. Very understandable. Hopefully we see, some change coming within the next few months because of the success of NXT, which is supposed to be the developmental brand. If you haven't read that story, head on over to ropebreakwrestling.com right now. It is up over there. You can read it right on the front page, so go for that. But let's jump right into Raw here. Talk about that first opening segment with John Cena. Obviously a very hot crowd down in Orlando tonight. Sold out, I believe they said. Whole arena sold out. Great to see. The crowd always makes the show so much better. Sometimes they go to these little, not small cities, but just not, wrestling passionate cities. But they went to a good city tonight. The crowd definitely helped the show. So John Cena does get the crowd hyped up. Definitely goes to show, the power he has in the WWE universe. He says, I love it when you guys boo. I love it when you cheer. And they do both, which I thought was pretty cool to see, because usually they just boo him and then the kids cheer him. But interesting enough that he's changing his strategy here to fight Rusev. And Rusev comes out and he gets a little bit of mic time. And obviously that brawl, we saw Cena get very, very aggressive, which we don't see very often. I was very happy about that. I always say this, that I wish we would see more of that side of Cena, because Cena just beat the living hell out of Rusev. And I feel like I just feel like where Cena is at in his career, where his characters become so stale, something like that, something like beating down his opponent, changing things up, stuff like that will really help him, I guess get over with, the fans like us. So, Mitch, I want to ask you, what did you think about, what Cena did to Rusev in those opening moments of Monday Night Raw?
Oh, man, I thought it was fantastic. It was extremely refreshing to see a more aggressive side of Cena that we don't normally see. He talked about it, I think, during his rematch with Lesnar at, Night of Champions, I believe it was.
Yep.
But we didn't really see it. And what he did tonight was just, that's something that took me by surprise. Him continuing the 10-punch was fantastic, and the crowd going along with it, I thought, added to it as well. It was overall awesome opening segment.
I absolutely agree. Like I said, the crowd really helps out in these situations. The crowd is just such a key part of every show that WWE puts out. And it's sad that on SmackDown, they edit out that crowd, because I feel like, some of that stuff you can't get rid of. So, when they pipe in the hairdryer crowd noise, when you see the crowd booing or the crowd's upset, it really, really, ruins SmackDown. So hopefully we do see that continue to change. Next up, surprisingly, pretty funny segment from Dean Ambrose impersonating the nightly news from Saturday Night Live, which I thought was great. And then, of course, that led into a match with Luke Harper, which was great. Probably the match of the night, I would say, personally. They really put on a solid showing. I wish we would see more of these kinds of matches. Just let's watch these guys wrestle. Let's see what these guys can do. Let's see how they throw it down in the ring. They both did a phenomenal job. I wouldn't mind seeing these two. I know the Shield faced off against the Wyatt family back in the day, but I wouldn't mind seeing an Ambrose and Harper feud. I think it'd be pretty interesting to see because Harper, for being a big guy, he's pretty versatile in the ring. So I would definitely like to see something maybe happen at these two in the future, maybe with the IC title, depending on what happens on Sunday. So, Mitch, you know, what do you think about Dean Ambrose, where he's at right now? He's kind of floating in the mid card. Where do you see him going? For the next few months or next few weeks, I should say, leading up to Mania and after.
That's a Alex always asking the tough questions, and that right there, ladies and gentlemen, that's a tough question to answer because honestly, there was so much hype with Dean Ambrose when he broke off onto his own, and I feel like he's lost a lot of steam, and it's very unfortunate given how talented of a performer he could be. And I want to see heel Ambrose. That's what I want. I'd like him to go on, get the IC title, and then somehow or another, off the top of my head, I can't think of how they turn him heel, but just a heel turn. I think that would really raise his stock more and really let people see what he actually can do. Because if you go back and watch Jon Moxley promos when he's a heel, 10 times better. He's like CM Punk in that regard. Face Punk cut an awesome promo. Heel Punk has you glued to the TV, just like Jon Moxley. So yeah, I'd definitely like to see a heel turn in the very near future.
I definitely agree with you 100%. There were rumors, I want to say maybe last month or sometime in December, that creative didn't know what they wanted to do with Dean Ambrose. After his feud with Bray Wyatt, he was losing a lot, so that kind of hurt his stock in the company. So then they thought, well, maybe we can turn him heel, and that might help. And I agree that would definitely help him. That'll reinvigorate his character. Is it possible he suffers from the Stone Cold heel symptoms, where he turns heel, he's a bad guy, but yet people are still cheering for him?
It's interesting. I mean, the fans are going to cheer who they want to cheer, regardless. It happened with Ziggler. It happened with Punk. Punk was pouring out Paul Bearer's ashes, and he still got cheered on a nightly basis. Fans are going to cheer who they want to cheer for, regardless of heel or face status. But in any case, he needs something. And I think a heel turn would definitely reinvigorate his character, his stock, and fan interest in it.
Absolutely agree, 100%. Great point. Moving on to this interesting situation with the Dust Brothers now. Cody really snapping, or Stardust, I should say. I don't really know what they call him anymore. I don't like calling him Stardust. Yeah, Cody made it clear that Cody is dead, and as far as he's concerned, his father is dead, which was very interesting, very, very shocking. And it saddens me about Cody Rhodes, because he has so much potential. I've been a fan of his for such a long time, and just to see him, kind of been faded out to mid-card obscurity, just it makes me sad, because I feel like this guy could have been a great, when they still had the WWE Championship and the World Heavyweight Champion separate, I feel like he could have been a great World Heavyweight Champion.
Absolutely.
But we'll never get to see that. So, Mitch, what happens with the Dust Brothers at WrestleMania?
Oh, I think Goldust is reaching his end, man. I don't think him trying to debunk that rumor or whatever. I think it was just trying to put people off. So I think that's always what's his name? Dustin Runnels has always clamored for a match against his brother at WrestleMania, and I think we're finally hitting that time where Goldust is ready to hang up his boots after a fantastic return. Who
Absolutely.
would have thought Goldust could come back and be, if not better, than his original run? I've absolutely loved everything Goldust has put out, and props to him. If he's ready to retire, damn it, he deserves it after this run.
I absolutely agree 100% with you. Rope Breakers, if you didn't hear the rumors, didn't see the rumors, on ropebreakwrestling.com, there was rumor that Goldust was planning on, retiring and becoming a backstage, producer and road agent for the company. Goldust responded and said, it's not true. I'm in my prime. I'm better than most of the people around here. So, but it seems like we are, like you said, he is reaching the end because he's, clamored, for a while that he wanted a match with his brother. On his last return before this one, it almost happened, I believe, but then they scrapped it. So now we will probably be getting it at WrestleMania, and it's going to be interesting to see, what happens between Stardust and Goldust in that match. And if Goldust does indeed retire, he put on one hell of a show in his latest outing for the company. Quickly moving on to Roman Reigns versus Kane. It was a good match. I'll give him that. It was a good match. Both men did a good job. What was better, I should say, was Daniel Bryan on commentary. Wow, that guy was a natural. I mean, maybe I'm taking this a little too far when I say it, but he's better than the commentary team sitting at that desk out there. I mean, really, he was really entertaining to listen to talk about, his match on Sunday, to talk about, the critics and what he's going to do to face Roman Reigns. He just really told a good story while sitting on the commentary desk, which not a lot of, people who go out there can do. But Daniel Bryan really did it, really sold it well, and made me excited to see what happens for his match on Sunday. Obviously, we have the big brawl later in the show, but they keep bringing up the point of, Daniel Bryan never got his rematch because he was stripped of the titles because of injury. And the latest rumor was that Vince changed his mind and is going to put Daniel Bryan in the main event and will make it a triple threat. So, Mitch, how do you feel about that now? Knowing what happened at the Royal Rumble, knowing that Daniel Bryan technically does deserve a rematch, but Roman Reigns won the Rumble, so he should be the rightful person to face Brock Lesnar. Is putting Daniel Bryan in the main event the right call, or is WWE doing it to please, the fans?
I think they're doing it more along the lines of trying to protect Roman Reigns, because if Roman Reigns, well, okay, one, it's kind of semi-pleases the fans because Daniel Bryan's once again in the WrestleMania 31 event, and there's a chance Daniel Bryan could win. A very small one, but there's a chance. So that takes care of the fans. Number two, if Reigns can somehow pull out the victory over not only Daniel Bryan, but Brock Lesnar, then I think Vince feels as though, well, hell, they'll have no choice but to cheer him. So I think it's mainly to make Roman Reigns look as strong as possible, and also kind of appeal to what fans are wanting since they shit on the Royal Rumble so terribly.
You definitely make a very good point with, having Reigns go up against two guys instead of one. Definitely would make him look stronger coming out in the end with the victory. Unless, of course, we see Seth Rollins cash in at the event, which would be great. Nothing against Roman Reigns. I want the guy to succeed. But as we've said a million times, he's just not ready for it yet. Seth Rollins is, the clear guy who's ready to do this. But, that's a conversation we've had 1,000 times. But we're going to move on now to Bray Wyatt's promos. We're just going to put them all in one little bunch and tackle those things. Obviously, directly aimed at the Undertaker now, saying what happened to you was a tragedy. I lost faith in you, going on, and then obviously putting the nail in the proverbial, Undertaker's coffin, so to speak, showing there. And really interesting to see if the Undertaker does show up next Monday to start this feud with Bray Wyatt. Rumors have said that, that is the plan WWE is going with, even though they haven't heard from Undertaker that, he'd be wrestling at the event. We don't, there hasn't been really an update lately. It's pretty much been the same thing every time we report on it that, that's the plan, but they haven't heard from Undertaker as of now. They still have not heard from Undertaker. But the thing is, either they're going to have a match or Undertaker's still going to be involved at WrestleMania 31 somehow because he does get paid $1 million just for showing up. So either way, it's a win-win for the fans and for the Undertaker. So, Mitch, how do you see this feud going? It's obvious now that Bray sees himself as the new dead man, sees himself as the new king of the underworld, the new devil, however you want to spin it. How do you see this, feud playing out over the next couple of weeks?
Ultimately, I believe Undertaker might come back, and who knows, I could get some heat for this, but I think we may be looking at 2 WrestleMania losses in a row for The Undertaker. I think he may come back solely to put over Bray Wyatt as that new, not necessarily the same gimmick, because obviously they're not. Bray Wyatt's never claimed to be a Walking Dead person or anything, but it's along the lines of that enigmatic, mysterious, creepy type gimmick, and I think he's the perfect person to carry the torch for it, and I think Undertaker would be absolutely the best guy to pass the proverbial torch to him. So I think we could be looking at Undertaker coming and putting over Bray Wyatt in the biggest way possible, and I don't think Undertaker would have a problem in the world doing it, seeing as how he's had no problem putting over talent in the past, and Bray Wyatt is truly deserving, and even he's lost a lot of steam lately, and I think that would definitely, if Lesnar winning at WrestleMania did what it did for him, then sky's the limit with Bray Wyatt. I think Bray Wyatt's 10 times better on a microphone than Lesnar, and he at least he's there every week.
Yeah, so, I definitely agree with you. If, the Rope Breakers didn't know, I am the resident Undertaker fan here, if you couldn't tell by a poster on the wall. But I do agree with you. I do think, we will see a second loss at WrestleMania in a row for The Undertaker, solely for the purpose of putting over Bray Wyatt as, kind of that next big thing, that next superstar that WWE wants to push. He has a lot of potential that we haven't seen yet because, it's just poor booking. It's just poor writing. Like you said, Undertaker, has no problem putting guys over in the right situations. Obviously, he put Lesnar over in a big way, and that paid off huge for him and for the company. It's still, talked about even today. It's going to be talked about for years to come, even after, Undertaker and Lesnar are long gone from the company. But I'm definitely interested to see what happens, with this feud, whether they, have a match or not. I still think somehow, some way, Undertaker's going to put over, Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania, whether they wrestle in a match or Undertaker shows up and kneels down to him and hands him the urn. I don't know, but I definitely see something happening where Undertaker does put Bray Wyatt over to put him in a good position. And that leaves us to wonder, is Bray Wyatt, the next, I guess I'll ask the question, do you see Bray Wyatt winning Money in the Bank this year? Because he's obviously championship material. I wouldn't necessarily put him in a championship feud right away, but do you see him winning the Money in the Bank?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think a character like Bray Wyatt needs it, but they could certainly either, if it's true that he writes his own promos, which I think it is, he could. This belt gives me more power over the masses, or something like that. So yeah, I easily see him winning the Money in the Bank, and like you said, not necessarily being thrown right into a championship feud, but giving him more time to grow, like they mainly have done with past Money in the Bank winners. Seth Rollins is just killing it right now ever since he won the Money in the Bank. And so I think doing that would be the absolute best way to, like, okay, we're going to give it to you. Not yet. We still want you to do some work, but your time's coming. You're going to get it. Be patient. Work your ass off, and you'll get rewarded. And I think Bray Wyatt's already done a tremendous job at. I mean, what arena doesn't have a cell phone lit up when he comes out?
Absolutely.
So he's already swayed the fans. I've only really technically seen two, if you want to count the Last Man Standing match with John Cena, but the match with Daniel Bryan at last year's Rumble, yeah, that was the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
That was a fantastic match, man. Absolutely enjoyed it. So we know Bray Wyatt has potential to be damn good in the ring. He's already fantastic on a microphone. So absolutely, Money in the Bank all the way.
All right, you heard it here on React After Raw. We see Bray Wyatt winning the Money in the Bank here, because personally, I don't really see anybody else being able to get in there and win it. I don't know. Maybe we see Seth Rollins repeat. Probably not. They really need to have that guy cash in. That's kind of my big problem with things now, is they wait so long to have these guys cash in, and recently, some of them will lose, some of them will win, but it's just they just wait so long now. Like it said before, it was like guy got a Money in the Bank contract, and boom, it was like the night or the next day or the next couple of weeks they were cashing in. But now it's like they just wait and wait and wait. And yeah, sure, it's a good opportunity to build a character, but sometimes cashing in on that momentum, no pun intended, is definitely a good way to go after getting that briefcase. And obviously, it's a pain in the ass to carry around. I think that's such a weird stipulation. Like, hey, you win this, you have to carry this around until you cash it in. Like, a lot of wrestlers say it's so awkward to like carry through airports. You just walk around with this briefcase that says Money in the Bank on it. Like that. I mean, that's such a weird stipulation. But hey, you got to do what you got to do to earn your spot in the company, I guess.
Man, that must be brutal. I don't think I would be able to handle that. With you're basically walking around with a giant billboard. Hey, come ask me for autographs.
Yeah. Definitely. You see those photos pop up on Twitter, on all over the place. Like, oh, hey, there's the Money in the Bank winner. Obviously, it gets WWE attention, but it's got to be so weird, man, carrying that around.
Absolutely.
All right, next thing we're going to talk about is the Rollins versus Ziggler segment, and then the match, which should have gone on longer, but definitely, love. Seth Rollins saying, today is President's Day, where we talk about the past, but instead we could be talking about the living, breathing future right now. The guy just is great on promos. Doesn't matter what happens. I loved how he said that, and then Dolph comes out and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, Seth, you had a bad Valentine's Day." Obviously, taking a jab at the Colby Lopez situation, as WWE is calling it. They're not calling it the Seth Rollins incident because they want to separate fact from fiction, I guess. So they're talking about the Colby Lopez incident. If you are a wrestling fan and you have no idea what we're talking about, go to RopeBreakWrestling.com. type in Seth Rollins in the search bar, and you'll see that his Twitter account was hacked and leaked a photo of a nude photo of an NXT diva, and subsequently Seth Rollins, I'm guessing now ex-fiance, released 2 nude photos of the man himself. So that was an interesting Monday Night Raw. It sent Aussie into a panic. He thought that Seth Rollins was done for. He was going to get buried. That was it. He's going to have to go back down the ladder like Triple H did after the Madison Square Garden incident, right as he was about to win King of the Ring. But according to reports, there's going to be no punishment for Seth Rollins, no punishment for the NXT diva or women wrestler, whatever you want to call her, trainee. So glad to see that Seth Rollins made it off scot-free. And there you go. And now we're going to see a rematch between Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler on Thursday SmackDown with J&J barred from ringside. So we'll actually get to see, a decent match from them, which I am excited about. And, I want to ask you, Aussie, mentioned it on Twitter that he doesn't want to see these two guys in tag team action at WrestleMania, and I have to agree. So, Mitch, I want to ask you, do you see, at WrestleMania, Seth Rollins and J&J versus Dolph Ziggler and Ryback?
Good God, I hope not. I really, really hope not. If you're looking for it to be the show of shows, why would you water it down that damn badly when Seth Rollins and Ziggler, you give them 30 minutes, good Lord, they tear the house down.
Absolutely.
Why in the world would you do that? Let them go in a singles match. Hell, make it a no disqualification just to amp it up a little bit. Don't put them in a 6-man tag or some bullshit tag team match. God, no. No. Fuck out of here with that.
I have to agree. I have to agree with you there. I would love to see just a match between those two at WrestleMania on such a big stage. What would just be absolutely phenomenal. We would see just I can't even put into words how great it would be. Just the athleticism between the two, the showmanship, just everything about the match just screams money. So hopefully we don't see this end up as a tag team situation at WrestleMania, because rumor was that at some point Ziggler's going to be teaming with Ryback. We're kind of seeing the seeds planted, I guess, but we're not there yet. But we will see soon enough. All right, Triple H's promo with Ric Flair. Very, very interesting segment. Triple H is always great around WrestleMania time. It doesn't matter what it is, who he's facing. He's always great. He's always on point. I guess the word I would put it is shocked to see that he knocked Ric Flair down. Going at him like that and getting really passionate about it. Like, I love nothing more than my wife and my children and the WWE. And if anything comes between me and the WWE, I'm going to kick that person's ass. I really, really love that. I loved how they played on, Sting being the last man standing with WCW, Ric Flair's history with Sting in WCW. I love that segment. Obviously, Ric Flair is not the talker he used to be, for various
drunk.
It's sad. He always sounds drunk now. He may not be drunk. Last I knew, he was sober, but it's just sad now to hear him speak, because he's just not the talker he used to be at all. He can still talk, but it's just not as good. And he did a good job at doing that. And I like how he said, on Sunday at Fastlane, don't show up on your ass. Really, really love that. So I'm really excited to see this meeting Sunday between Triple H and Sting. So, Mitch, what do you think happens on Sunday between Triple H and Sting?
Oh, again with the tough questions. That could go either way, man. That could end up in a quick little scuffle. That could just be a war of words. That's a tough one to call. It breaks my heart because I thought I was going, because it's right here in Memphis, Tennessee. Mick Foley cheap pop right there for you. It breaks my heart. I'm not going to be there. I thought I had scored free tickets to go, and it doesn't seem like that's going to work out. So my one chance to see Sting live and in person, probably before he hangs it up, gone. So that's slightly disappointing, but I'll be enjoying it from my couch nonetheless. But I think we could get, if Triple H, storyline wise, was angry enough to plant Ric Flair, I think we'll see somewhat of a brawl between the two of them before Sting ultimately gets one over on him, and that leads to the match at WrestleMania.
I definitely agree with you there. Definitely a good point you said. If Triple H is angry enough to put Ric Flair on his ass, something's definitely going to go down at Fastlane. Obviously, WWE hyping it up to get the subscribers. It's free for the month of February, so if you haven't tried it, go try it. You can cancel it before the end of the month and watch this pay-per-view for free. You don't got to go to your friend's house, pay $5, or do whatever you want to do. You can get it for free and enjoy it in the the comfortableness and the privacy of your own home. So,
is that Michael Cole I'm looking at?
I'm better than Michael Cole, right? Look, not too long ago, I showed you guys how to download the WWE app, and I did a hell of a lot better job than Michael Cole did. So,
right.
I might have to take his job from him sometime soon. I could probably call better commentary than he could.
Get it trending on Twitter, Alec for Cole.
There we go. Quickly, before I ask you a question, Mitch, Austin Branson told you because I missed Raw. Good to be back if you remember me. Of course, Austin, I remember everyone who comes here. Thank you for watching. Loyal watcher here of React After Raw. And Kyle Colahan, Kyle C78 saying Robbie Brookside makes his Raw debut. Obviously referring to the match with Darren Young and his mystery tag team partner, who is Robbie Brookside, facing the Ascension, which WWE did lazy camera work on. Didn't even do the cool pan up to see the Ascension, make it look like they're rising out of the stage. So that's not that. Back to what I was saying. Does Sting show up with the bat on Sunday?
Ooh, interesting. Yes, he does. Most definitely. The bat is as iconic as Sting is. Well, I wouldn't go that far, but it's definitely a centerpiece for Sting, and I wouldn't be surprised if it made an appearance along with Triple H's sledgehammer.
That another question. Does Triple H bring out this sledgehammer?
That would be cool as hell, because both are centerpieces to both men and their character. Triple H with the sledgehammer, Sting with the bat. That'd be cool. That'd be hella cool. I'd like to see that.
I absolutely agree. I would love. I'm just excited for this showdown. I don't care what happens. They can sit in the fucking ring and drink tea. I don't care. I'm just excited to see what happens between these two. This, people, they want to say that Sting is, an old guy. He's washed up, but still, the guy, he can put on a decent match. He's obviously going to have, a match at WrestleMania with Triple H, maybe a match next year in Dallas with The Undertaker, or, maybe, he'll put up an up-and-coming guy. Who knows? But, if he's going to be working for WWE, he's probably making a decent amount of money, so he's definitely going to put on one hell of a show. He has so far, in the times he has shown up, WWE very limited in using him. So, definitely excited to see this showdown happen at Fastlane. Next up,
definitely.
Mizdow versus Bad News Barrett. Not really the match I want to talk about, but the impending feud between The Miz and Mizdow. It's been a long time coming. Obviously, we can see that Mizdow is reaching his breaking point. So my question to you is, when do we see Mizdow finally turn on The Miz and become the face that he deserves to be?
That is the toughest question, man. I'm really, really, really afraid of what happens to not just Mizdow, but Damian Sandow as a whole after this happens. Because while I'm enjoying or will enjoy him beating the hell out of the Miz, I can't stand the Miz. I fucking hate him. I always have and always will. But I will be glad for that to happen. But I'm terrified of he's going to go back to impersonating LeBron James and fucking astronauts and shit afterward. Because I don't know. I guess the WWE doesn't have a lot of faith in him. But as much as I will enjoy him turning on Miz, possibly at Fastlane, that's what I'm going to predict. Or maybe next Monday after Fastlane to set up the feud for WrestleMania, which that would be cool. That would give Mizdow a WrestleMania moment if he goes over Miz.
They'll probably end up on the pre-show anyway.
That brings a tear to my eye. Why'd you have to say that?
I'm just trying to be realistic, but I definitely agree that it's either going to happen at Fastlane or next Monday, because usually that Monday, right after the February pay-per-views, when things really start to kick into high gear for all the feuds leading into WrestleMania, where feuds are built. Quickly want to backtrack here for a second, back to Rollins versus Ziggler. It was the perfect opportunity for Randy Orton to make his return to live television. The crowd was even chanting RKO during the match, and it did not happen. So it really makes me wonder what is going on with Randy Orton. He was out after, I believe back in November to film a movie, The Condemned 2, which is a sequel to The Condemned starring Stone Cold Steve Austin. You can go pick it up at your local Walmart for $5. Nonetheless, he leaves, and then he was only supposed to be gone. He was supposed to come back. I believe he could have made an appearance at Survivor Series. He was supposed to come back sometime in December. He worked some live events, but didn't work TV. Was supposed to be in the Royal Rumble match, didn't show up. And now we are almost at Fastlane, heading into WrestleMania, and Randy Orton is not back. And I believe in January he got surgery to repair a deviated septum. He's all healed now. So my question is, do you think I'm really going out on a limb here? Do you think he violated the wellness policy?
Wow, jeez, I didn't even think of that. No, I think they're waiting for the perfect Fastlane, once again, Fastlane or the Monday after Fastlane, to really set up that feud with Rollins. If they don't do Ziggler versus Rollins, because plans change all the time, because first, if you look at Daniel Bryan, he's had 3 matches scheduled.
Very true.
So if they decide to not go with Rollins and Ziggler, then I think that'll be the initial setup for Orton and Rollins, which I'm fine with either match, either way.
Oh, I absolutely agree.
Because I was hot into Rollins and Orton before they wrote him off, and that
it
promo
was such a perfect feud,
Yeah.
Orton, who was, you can say was the future when he showed up, and now Seth Rollins is the future. So you really have a big meeting between the two here. Both are great on the mic. Both are good in the ring. So I really do hope that, this is just WWE waiting for the right moment to bring him back in.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what they're doing. I'm praying that's what they're doing. Fingers crossed for that match, because as much as I wouldn't mind seeing a Ziggler-Rollins match, I'd love even more to see Orton versus Rollins at WrestleMania, because I think that would steal the show just as well, if not better, because A lot of people really underrate Randy Orton and
Absolutely.
being an in-ring technician. And he's smooth as hell. Absolutely. He really does. He really does. I'm a big fan of Orton's in-ring work. Even his promos, even though people say he's robotic. You look at that promo he came out and cut back before he got written off, man. He was fired up, and it was...
That's one of my favorite promos, man. That was such a good promo. So passionate, so raw. That's what I love to see from guys.
Yeah, exactly. So that really had me amped up for this feud. I don't know why they even bothered if they knew they were going to write him off TV. Like, why tease us that bad if they're not going to pull the trigger eventually? And what better way to pull the trigger than at WrestleMania?
I absolutely agree. Orton, a master of in-ring psychology, mic work, all around one of the most underrated guys on the roster. You know, whether you care to agree or disagree, everyone has their own opinions, but you know that's just how I feel. It'd be huge for Seth Rollins to face Randy Orton at WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
And then if he picks up the win, he beats a former WWE World Heavyweight Champion, World Heavyweight Champion, WWE Champion, and a former Money in the Bank winner and successful cash-in. And then if he goes on to cash in after the main event, that would be huge for Seth Rollins' career to beat Randy Orton and whoever is the champion at the end of the night after that after the main event. That'd be huge for him. It'd be a huge stepping stone. So hopefully we get Seth Rollins versus Orton at WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
And we have a ton of rope breakers weighing in here. Mills 504 Thugs Brandon here again. Brandon, what's going on? Austin Brand saying, well, I have been predicting this really bad since the Roman, but every month it just seems he's coming back. He's at the house shows, but not on live TV. You know, very interesting point. Mills saying it. Orton probably got suspended for filming such an awful movie. Well, we haven't seen the finished product yet, but
I don't know. The Condemned with Austin wasn't that bad. I mean, come on, be honest.
It wasn't. It wasn't terrible, but you know why? Because it's Stone Cold, and he's just a badass 24/7. So it doesn't really matter. Stone Cold's going to do what he's going to do, and that's the bottom line. And, you know, I did enjoy the Condemned because, you know, Stone Cold's a good bad guy. So, you know, Orton Condemned 2 might be a pretty good movie. Austin Brand saying, I really don't know what to say. My last prediction is he comes back during Fastlane or the next day. If he doesn't show up then, I really don't think he's going to be at WrestleMania. And I absolutely agree 100%. If he doesn't show up at Fastlane or next Monday's Raw, we probably won't see him at WrestleMania.
Write it off.
Forget it, Orton's out. He probably violated the wellness policy or something. Who the hell knows? Orton, come back soon, man. We need you.
We really do. RKO somebody out of nowhere, damn it.
Just, head backstage and RKO the creative team and tell them to give you something. RKO Vince, RKO Triple H, RKO Stephanie again. I don't care what you got to do. RKO their kids, get somebody's attention. Doesn't matter.
RKO Stan that Shawn Michaels super kicked that one time. I don't give a shit. Just do something.
Man, and that quickly brings us to our main event. We've been here on React Live for about 45 minutes now. It's been great being here with you guys, being with Mitch. Hope you guys are enjoying the show so far. Daniel Bryan versus The Big Show with Roman Reigns at ringside, just kind of sitting there taking pictures with the fans and selfies and throwing out T-shirts and all that junk. Obviously not putting him on commentary because
he sucks.
He's green like turtle shit.
Yes. Props to you, man. Props to you. That was great.
If you guys don't understand that reference, maybe I'll throw that video up on Rope Break Wrestling's Facebook page in a little while. Absolutely hilarious. Got to take a breather here, man. That was.
So then we send out Big Show. Fans love him. Christ.
Oh. All right. Yeah, I definitely gotta share that with the rope breakers.
Most definitely. It's
Oh
worth
man,
the
you
share.
guys are gonna love this. So after this show is over, guys, head over to our Facebook page and I'll share the video for you guys. If you guys don't know, understand what we're talking about. You'll get a great laugh out of it. I know I did. I know Mitch did. It is just great. It is great. All right, let's talk about the main event now. Not a bad match. Daniel Bryan always seems to work well with anybody, which is why I think WWE has paired him up with Roman Reigns for Fastlane. One of the rumors was they paired him up because Daniel Bryan is a very stiff worker, like Brock Lesnar, so it's going to prepare Roman Reigns to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, which is a good idea on WWE's part. But also, I think it's a way to, you know, as you said earlier, protect Roman Reigns, and I have to agree. I believe Daniel Bryan is going to carry the majority of that match on Sunday. Reigns, I can't say he's showing improvement, but maybe we'll see him pull out some new shit on Sunday. Say, hey, I can wrestle, but nonetheless, definitely that's why they're doing it. Bryan's going to carry the majority of that match. Reigns might get tired and go take a nap in the corner, but um, you know, Big Show and Daniel Bryan, had a good match. Definitely, it's good to see the submission stuff from Daniel Bryan because he is I guess a great technician in the ring. Definitely one of the best technical wrestlers on the roster. So a decent match, and then we get the big brawl at the end, which was absolutely great. That's how you build a pay-per-view. That's how you build up to a match. That's how you build hype to it. Just both those guys going at it, laying all on the line. It went out into the crowd, which is definitely always good to see, where WWE takes advantage of the environment around them, which they don't do at all anymore, I should say. So I'm glad to see it went out in the crowd, back into the arena. Really love that they just, really made it look real. Some of those shots, man, some of those shots connected. Reigns was bloodied up when it was all over. Daniel Bryan, took a few good shots to the face. So, when it really gets down to it and makes it look real, I can't even talk tonight. Definitely hypes the match up good. So, I am looking forward to this match on Sunday. So, Mitch, man, what do you think? What do you think's going down on Sunday with these two? Does Daniel Bryan get the win and end up in that main event, or does Roman Reigns get the win and somehow Daniel Bryan still ends up in the main event?
I think they're going to go with a. The match isn't no disqualification, is it? Hell, I don't think it is, but I think we're going to get some type of double count out, and that's ultimately what's going to create the triple threat match, if that's what they're honestly going to go with. So, I think a double count out. Bryan doesn't look bad by taking a clean victory. Reigns couldn't fucking wrestle his way out of a paper bag, let alone against he like you said earlier, green as turtle shit. So yeah, I think that keeps both performers again looking strong. So I think that's the best way to go about it. It puts both of them in the triple threat. They both come out looking decent. And Reigns gets the experience of working with a stiff worker like Daniel Bryan, and everybody wins.
I absolutely agree with you 100%. I think we do see some kind of some kind of weird finish, whether it's a double count out or it's a double knockout. I don't know. We're gonna see some kind of dusty finish where both men lose the match somehow. So definitely agree with you there. It'll make both of them look strong. They'll both beat the hell out of each other. So it'll show that they both have the ability to face Brock Lesnar. So really agree with you there on that. But I am excited to see this match. As much flack as Roman gets, I believe in the guy. I think he has a lot of potential left to be discovered. So hopefully, whether he goes on to win the championship or not at WrestleMania, after that happens, WWE, kind of pulls him back a little bit and really, really works on him, really gets him to discover himself, discover his character, and get him away from the fucking Shield persona. After WrestleMania, that should be dead. If he wins the championship, he should no longer be Roman Reigns from the Shield. He should be Roman Reigns, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Nothing else, not Roman Reigns, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion of the Shield. Shouldn't, get rid of the Shield gear, get rid of the, I don't mind if they keep the entrance, but get rid of the gear, get rid of the theme, just give them something new, give them something fresh, something that the fans can, I guess, really look forward to. So those are my hopes for Roman Reigns, going forward.
I couldn't agree more, man. Could not agree anymore. I don't really think I have anything to add to that because you just hit everything on the top of the head, man. Absolutely.
Right, and I think WWE did it because, he had the Shield momentum, so they hoped that momentum was going to carry Roman Reigns as far as they needed him to. Obviously, that hasn't really happened. He's starting to get mixed reactions from the crowd. So, hopefully we see some new shit for Roman Reigns after WrestleMania. And Mill's asking, what do you guys think of that forearm after Bryan hit Roman with the second chair shot? It looked brutal. Absolutely. That was very brutal, like I said. Some of those shots looked like they connected pretty good. So when that happens, it's going to be a big match.
Absolutely. It was pretty brutal. It looked like they were legit going at it. I bought every second of it, and it just kept hyping me up more and more. And
Absolutely.
I was not by any means a fan of this match because I thought at first Reigns was going over Bryan cleanly, but now that I know that Bryan is in the main event of WrestleMania, so tentatively, I'm not going to say that for sure.
Let's not say it for sure, because there's going to be that one person that jumps down our throats. When, we're just reporting the rumors here. Nothing is true until it actually happens, and then you can go back and look on the rumors and say, "Oh, that actually was true." So, technically, supposedly, Daniel Bryan might be in the main event at WrestleMania.
Might be. So yeah, I'm all for this match. Because being that I live here in Memphis, the commercials that they were advertising at first were fucking shit.
Yeah, wasn't it a tag team match?
Yeah,
John Cena and Roman Reigns versus Big Show. I think it was
Seth Rollins.
Big Show. Was it Seth Rollins? Wow.
Yeah, that was the main event for your brand new fucking pay-per-view. Really, WWE? Really? You want to put over a new pay-per-view? That's your fucking main event. Get the fuck out of here. Get off my damn TV. I ain't buying this shit.
I believe they changed it to a last man standing match between Roman Reigns and the Big Show.
What?
And, yeah, they changed it because after the report came out that it was that tag team match, they not too long after it was changed to Roman Reigns versus Big Show in a last man standing match, and now thankfully we have Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan. That's really weird to say Roman Reigns and thankfully in a sentence.
Are you just gonna let the car?
Wow, I can't believe I put those two in a sentence, but nonetheless, glad to see that happened. Andre Escrivin saying, I think Roman didn't sell Bryan's move that well. It kind of pissed me off. Yeah, I mean, he didn't sell it, but the thing is, it's tough, in that situation when you've got, people running around and grabbing on you, trying to pull you away and stuff like that. And, Bryan's a very stiff worker, so, maybe he just tried to take a stiff hit. I don't really know, but I'm not, I'm not pissed off about it. It was a good brawl. It happened. It hyped up the match. It builds the pay-per-view. So, I mean, I was okay with it. I don't really see anything wrong with it. He just took a stiff hit, want to take a stiff bump, I guess.
Yeah. No worries. No big deal. Cool.
No worries.
I think that whole entire segment did exactly what it was meant to do.
Absolutely. All right, Rope Breakers, we're nearing the end of our show here on React After All on Rope Break Wrestling's YouTube channel. So it is now time for everybody's favorite part of the show, my favorite part of the show, personally. The final thoughts and the letter grade for Monday Night Raw. So, Mitch, man, you got the floor.
Solid show. I think, like what you said at the beginning with NXT being so fantastic, and I haven't even seen the final match yet. I got about 15 minutes into it and had to stop. But even without Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, man, what a hell of a pay-per-view. So, I don't think it's any coincidence. We went from fucking C- shows to, I'd give it a B+ this week.
Wow, B+. I definitely like what you said. WWE booked a good show tonight. WWE planned the show carefully. There wasn't really a ton of filler, come to think of it. I mean, maybe Naomi and Jimmy or whoever versus Natty and Tyson. That was probably the biggest filler piece of the show, but everything else had its place. It was, set up the right way. It wasn't, no segment or match dragged on more than it should have. So WWE did a good job tonight. Definitely got to see a lot more wrestling than we usually do. The opening promo spot wasn't as long as it usually is. We didn't get the usual 20-minute spiel. We got maybe 10 minutes, and then we got, a fight, which is good. I did read somewhere the other day that we have not seen Monday Night Raw open with a match since September 8th of 2014. Let that sink in, people. Wow. September 8th of 2014 was the last time Monday Night Raw opened with a match. So at every point after that, we've had a 20-minute promo to open the show. Wow. Something's got to change.
Most definitely.
Not to get too far off track nonetheless. I'm going to give the show a B. I'm going to give the show a solid B. It did its job. It helped build up the pay-per-view. Definitely makes me more, excited to watch it. As most of the Road Breakers know, Mitch, I was not looking forward to this pay-per-view at all. Wasn't a fan of the name. Didn't think it was going to be great because they got rid of the Elimination Chamber. It just didn't really flow well. But WWE's done a good job at putting this together. So props to them. So, before we do our final sign-offs here, I got one more big question for you. How does NXT Takeover Rival affect WWE Fastlane on Sunday?
I think it's going to motivate a lot of people to put on one hell of a show because it's going to be hard to top. And if they're as frustrated with what they're being allowed to do down in NXT, then make use of the time you get. Make absolute use of it. If you get 3 minutes, damn it, you put on a hell of a match in that 3 minutes. If you get 30 minutes, outdo, because there's nobody on that roster, on the main roster, should I say, that isn't talented and can hold a decent match. If they want to, they could. Go out there and fucking do it, man.
I absolutely agree with what you're saying, man. Absolutely agree. Whatever time you have, make the best of it, whether it's 3 minutes or 30 minutes. Make the most out of what you get on that show. Writers, write a solid show. Producers, coordinate solid matches, and it'll all come together well for you. Whether the buy rate is high or not, that is the key concern. But more importantly, it's what makes your fans happy. And what's makes us happy, makes us excited, makes us want to tune in the next night on Monday, makes us continue to stick around to build up to WrestleMania. So book a solid show, make it exciting, give us surprises, go all out. The last time NXT won up WWE, the rumor was that WWE was going to go all out. They were going to put on their best show, and I believe that was Hell in a Cell. And,
TLC.
Was it TLC?
It's TLC because it's like, how the fuck are they going to make a stairs match exciting?
Right, you're right. It was TLC. I don't know why it was Hell in a Cell.
It's all good, man.
Maybe because Hell in a Cell wasn't that great anyway. But
yeah.
Either way, yep, it was TLC, and TLC didn't really do that. So go all out, WWE. Pull out all the stops. You have the potential with your talent, with your booking, everything. It's all there at your fingertips. So really give us something to remember for the first WWE Fastlane. And from Road Breakers continue to weigh in. Mills saying solid B- as letter grade. Good rating there. Austin Brand saying to the main roster, don't bitch and complain, just go out and do it, but make sure it looks good. Absolutely. That should be put on a banner everywhere they go. Right, that should be put in Gorilla, just right above, the curtain. Just go out there and make it look good. Don't bitch about it. That should be up there every single Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, whatever. You
Amen.
are the main roster. It's your job to show up NXT, not NXT, the developmental brand, to show up you.
Absolutely, man.
You make the money. You have the talent. You're there for a reason. I know the writing isn't great. The booking isn't great. But given the time you have, go out and give the people something to remember. So on Sunday, do the best job you can and beyond. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Absolutely.
And now it is almost time to end this show here. We got a little bit more to do, little shameless self-promotion. So, guys, you're sitting here right now and you're watching Rope Break Wrestling's YouTube channel. And if you haven't subscribed to us yet, then go over and subscribe. Help us get those subscribers up. And, of course, like this video and share it with all your friends. It helps me out. It helps all of us out. It gets the name out there. And then, of course, you go to our Facebook page. It's right down in the description. And I don't know how you got here, really. Maybe our Facebook or Twitter. But either way, if you got here by some other mysterious way, which I'm really worried about, I don't know how you found us either way. But go to our Facebook page, like our Facebook page, help us get those likes up. It always helps us spread the word about Rope Break Wrestling. And, of course, you can go to our Twitter, twitter.com/RopeBreakWrestling. If you can't figure out how to spell that, that is down in the description for you as well. Help us get our followers up on Twitter. You'll be, you kind of get news and stuff over on Twitter that you don't normally get on our Facebook, especially pertaining to our giveaways, which we do most pay-per-views. We did a giveaway for the Royal Rumble. It was huge. We gave away some DVDs. We gave away some action figures. We gave away 2 T-shirts from ProWrestlingTees.com. So, guys, there's a lot to win here at Rope Break Wrestling. You don't see a lot. You don't see any other sites giving away stuff, but we do it right here in the ring with Rope Break. And then, of course, if you are a supporter of Rope Break Wrestling, I beg you to go to patreon.com/ropebreak. It's down in the description. Listen, you guys, you can go and make a monthly donation to ropebreakwrestling.com. It could be $1, it could be $2, it could be $5. Doesn't matter what it is. Any amount helps us. It helps us to make these shows better, to give you better giveaways, to make a better site, keep the site up and running. It just helps make Rope Break Wrestling all around so much better. If every follower on our Facebook gave us $1, we could be doing a hell of a lot of cool shit for Rope Break Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So keep that in mind, guys. Any amount helps, like we said. And if you don't want to make a monthly donation, you can go to our website, ropebreakwrestling.com. It's in the description. There is a donate button. You can donate any amount you want. And, of course, it's a big help. Any amount helps us out. Help us, help you, and help support Rope Break, build it, and trust us with the future of WWE News and Rumors. Now, this is about the time where I turn the floor over to Matt, and we talk about friends. But unfortunately, Matt is not here tonight. Matt cannot make the show. He had prior commitments, so he's fired anyway. But sorry, Matt.
Damn
You're
it,
fired.
Matt.
You can't put out before the bell. You can't show up on React to even give your PSA.
Damn it, Matt.
Matt, you're fired, man. No, maybe you can redeem yourself. Maybe you can redeem yourself next week by showing up here and explain to the Rope Breakers why you couldn't show up to deliver your lovely PSA. But nonetheless, I'm going to give it my best shot. So, listen, guys. You're a fan of Rope Break Wrestling. You're a follower. You love Rope Break. You go to our website. You're everywhere on Rope Break. But you're not telling your friends about Rope Break. Well, guess what? That makes you a terrible friend. I know. It's harsh, but that's the truth. Because you're not telling your friends about Rope Break. You're not spreading the word. Word of mouth is the biggest weapon you got. And Rope Break Wrestling is the biggest site out there. It is a lifestyle. And I know you're thinking, but wait, you're a founding father. You co-founded this site. You write for it. You do this show. You're just saying that because it's your brand. No, I'm telling you, it's a lifestyle. You have to live it. It's the best thing going. So I urge you to stop being a terrible friend and tell all your friends about Rope Break Wrestling and get the word out there and help us help you with WWE News and Rumors. So tell all your friends about Rope Break Wrestling. Mitch, how'd I do it, man?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty damn good.
Pretty good, Matt. I did pretty
Matt,
good.
You're slipping, man. You're
Matt,
slipping.
you got to show up next week and claim this spot back. You got to reclaim the PSA about friends and your terrible internet. But either way, you got to reclaim your crown as the promo man, I should say, for RopeBreakWrestling.com. But nonetheless, thank you guys for tuning in. We've been gone for a couple weeks now. We had some problems with the site last week, so obviously the show didn't happen. Before that, we had a pretty big snowstorm, and the show didn't happen again. But I'm glad to be back here in the hosting chair with you guys here on Rope Break Wrestling's YouTube channel. And, of course, we'll be here next week, immediately following Monday Night Raw. Mitch might be here. We hope Matt will be here. We're calling you out, Matt. You got to show up. Damn it.
Damn it,
And
Matt.
I would say look out for Before the Bell, but
What's Before the Bell?
yeah, what Before the Bell is I don't know where it is. It's stuck, it's stuck in limbo somewhere. I'm hoping Matt is, diligently working in some underground laboratory on Before the Bell to bring you the biggest and baddest podcast in the world. All right, Matt, I just gave you a pretty big plug, so
Yeah.
you better deliver, man. But nonetheless, hopefully look out for the return of Before the Bell sometime in the next few weeks. And then, of course, you can tune in on Thursdays at 7, right before SmackDown, to The Sharpshoot with Aussie. It is a great show. It is one of the best damn shows on YouTube. I'm not just saying that because, he is a friend of mine. He helped found this site. No, it really is a great show. Aussie does one hell of a job putting it together. Lots of good stuff. So definitely check out The Sharpshoot on Thursdays at 7. All right. That is all the time we have for today here on Rope Break Wrestling's YouTube channel for React After Raw. I am Alec. That is Mitch. Get out of the bleachers and get in the ring with Rope Break. Good night, everybody.